good for a while.
It should be good for another hour anyway.
What about that?
Yeah. Yes, because and that was so we didn't have any money, so we decided to do some tourism in the north of north of Chile.
Which is Valparaiso, or what's it called?
No, we were doing tourism in Valparaiso, and we weren't going farther north.
Oh, to what? And what's that place called?
It's called Coquimbo. The boat's up there right now, by the way.
Oh, nice. Which one?
Good Ship Grace.
It is still there.
Huh?
It's still sailing.
No.
Oh, what happened?
This place I'll
Oh, okay, cool.
And so we were on the Good Ship Grace. Yeah, that was. Wait a minute, where were we? No, we were on the Victory. We were in the Victory. That was it. The Good Ship Grace and another story. Aside from that, so went towards the north of Chile. Monica stayed on shore and was going to take a bus, and I went out about 100 miles out to be sure I wasn't far away from the shore. And we got into a pretty heavy wind. It wasn't any big storm, but it created some fairly good waves. But they weren't really that big, but they were big enough. And all of a sudden we heard something snap. And I went up to the deck, and the foremast snapped and brought down the main mast with it.
Jeez.
So all the sails were in the water. And but as we were about 100 miles out, I said, well, we're in trouble. Because not only that, when the sails went in the water, all the ropes from the sails wrapped around the propeller.
Oh my gosh.
So we're without motor, without anything, we're just drifting around. And
That boat's seen some trouble.
yeah, that was a pretty big problem. So we started putting out an SOS. And meanwhile, one of the crew members got a knife and wrapped it around a stick and got the propeller free.
Jeez.
About 2 hours later, I think. And so we canceled the SOS, but when you sail in an SOS, it's not that simple on a boat. Because the boats from miles around hear it,
Mm-hmm.
and they all come running to you to see if they can get some rescue money.
Oh, is that what they're doing?
Yeah, that's their main purpose.
Man.
not to save you.
Oh, no.
So one of the big ships came. It's a huge ship. I don't know how tall it was, about 100 feet tall. And he said, throw us a rope. So we threw a rope, and we were just obeying orders. But we said, well, we don't really need you anymore because we got the motor running. He said, what? We came 100 miles or 200 miles here, it cost us a fortune for fuel, and they said you don't even need us. We want some money anyway. So I said, well, we don't have any money. And he said, well, I'm going to take your rope. I just bought the rope. It must have cost me about $500. It's brand new. Big one, about that big around.
Yeah.
So he took a rope and went away. So we got back in port and put out the anchor. And a big storm came in and the anchor started dragging. And during the time it was dragging for a long time, the boat finally just went right up on the beach. So we had a boat on the beach without any mast, without any sails. Because we cut the sails loose and set them
Just
on
let
the
them go.
which was kind of stupid, really.
You should have pulled them in, right?
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, you're just like in a panic at that state, huh?
Just in a panic, that's right. And so That's when we put the ad in the paper for a partner.
You
So
like
it wasn't
need
re-
some
so it wasn't
sales.
really a side story. It was part of the same story.
Yeah.
And some guy came and he said, well, what's it going to cost to fix this boat up and put new sails on? I said about $20,000. It was exactly what it cost.
Oh wow, interesting.
And so he lent us the money, and we fixed the boat up and started doing tourism. And got to the end of the season, and the tourist business was really bad that year because the exchange rate was bad. So the people who were coming before the year before would give us a lot of tourism because it was a good exchange rate, and they could give you some dollars that went a long way, but this time it didn't go very far. So at the end of the season, he said, well, where's all the money I was supposed to be making? And I said, well, you know what happened. He said, yeah, I know, but I'm going to my attorney because I want my money back.
Oh no.
And so I'm never very good for contracts. I don't know why. So the contract I wrote up with him didn't have any contingency clause that said what happened if we did make the money. It just
Right.
said, what if we did make the money, but not if we
Yes.
didn't.
Shoot.
So my attorney says, yeah, if he's going to church, well, he already had the subpoena, I think. He said, your case doesn't look too good because you don't have a good clause in your contract. It says it looks like you're going to lose your boat. So we needed $20,000 right away, and we didn't have any money at all, and we couldn't make any money with the boat because the guy put a lien on it, so they couldn't leave the port.
Jeez. That's silly, though. I mean, that's reckless, but he's probably afraid you were going to take off. But at the
We
same
probably would have done it.
yeah, well, there you go.
No, but they couldn't have gotten very far because he just put if we did leave the port, he probably just put a lien in the first port we got to,
Exactly.
like the guy did in Panama. Remember?
No, I don't remember. What was that?
Oh, and maybe you didn't get in on
Oh,
that.
no, I need to know that story.
Oh yeah.
How funny.
Yeah, remember we had some investors, like the guys that were investing in the boat,
Yes, uh-huh.
and then
Once everybody got off in Costa
then everybody
Rica.
got off, and so they couldn't go on the trip.
Yeah.
And the guy was I think one or two at least, put a lawsuit in Panama,
Yeah.
and they were putting a lien on the boat, but the guy didn't get as far as to the point where we couldn't leave the port.
Oh, so you bailed.
He just got the thing saying we had to have the money, so we bailed.
Oh, Daddy.
That's when we went to Tahiti.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, Tahiti beats the heck out of Panama.
huh?
I wasn't very fond of Panama. It was so humid.
Yeah. It was something like Florida.
Yeah.
Have you been to Florida?
I've been to Alabama. I lived in Mobile, Alabama for a year.
That's almost the same as Florida.
It's incredibly oppressive
Yeah.
in all sorts of ways.
Yeah. And you went to?
Yeah. You open the door and you're just blasted.
Yeah.
You can't breathe.
Yeah. It's just the way it is in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, when I married Monica, the pastor actually at the church where I was going to set the marriage up without me even knowing about it. But he didn't. I don't know if he knew about it either. But anyway, Monica was a good Christian. Not too good really, but she was looking for a good church to investigate being a good Christian. Because from the time she was just a baby, she went to the Catholic Church every day of her life.
Oh, wow.
And sang in the church, the choir, and did the whole thing until she was 18 years old. And
Yeah.
when I met her, she was only 19.
Wow, Dad. Check
Rubbing
you
the
out.
cradle.
Holy
But
smokes.
I can't be
I have that same personality type.
I
I don't
can't-
really pay attention.
I can't be held guilty because the church pastor set it up.
Yeah. Oh, so it's his fault.
It was his fault. So he said, I want some volunteers for somebody who could take this young lady home because she doesn't have any. She doesn't have. She has to take 2 buses to get to her house, and she needs some help. And so I looked around, and there was, for anybody else that had a car, but it could have been somebody that wanted to walk her home too.
Certainly, yeah. No one
So
volunteered.
I thought he was talking to me.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I'll take her home. And so after the church, and then she came up, we started talking, and so I took her home. And we were pretty compatible from the first day.
Interesting.
And so then I take her to a French fries and fried chicken place after church.
Mm-hmm.
And we have that. We go up on a hill and eat it.
Nice.
So I think about the second time we went up on the hill, she was sitting in the passenger seat, and giving her some fresh. We were both eating French fries and everything. It wasn't too romantic, except for, yeah, actually it was a little romantic, because the hill was overlooking the whole harbor
Nice.
with all the lights and stuff.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden she gave me a kiss.
Oh, wow.
I heard. I actually, you wouldn't believe it. I heard bells ringing.
Yeah. It was tinnitus. Or is it tinnitus? How do you say that? Tinnitus? When you have ringing ears? Your blood pressure rose.
Something happened.
It was
Something happened.
a huge flux in blood pressure that caused you to have ringing ears. But you could have heard bells. I don't know.
So then we started dating more heavily.
I guess.
And so that went on for a few months, and all of a sudden she disappeared. She said, well, she told me she was going on a vacation for 2 weeks, but she didn't ever come back.
Oh, brother.
And I was getting pretty sad. I wrote her a letter, and she answered me back. She said, Ben, I decided to stay here, and one of my old friends from Germany has proposed marriage to me.
Oh, shoot.
And she said, but I don't love him, but I love you.
Oh, you're feeling emotional, aren't you?
I was
Oh my gosh, that's so touching, Dad. It still chokes you up. That's beautiful.
So I read that, and I said, she doesn't love him, but she loves me. And I was down in Portimont.
Yeah.
She was about 400 miles north. So I didn't have very much money at the time either, because I was just finishing up the other boat.
Yeah, nice.
That's another story. How I got that one.
Well, we're going to get there.
We'll get there someday. So I bought some new shoes, a new suit, got my hair cut, got on the bus, and went to talk to her.
Yeah.
So I just got there in the morning, about the same time she was getting off from her night shift. She was working at the same place they make those corn pies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Oh, she was working in a factory?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so she was, I think, in the bathroom, and so I asked the mother if I could use the bathroom. She said, yeah, go right in there. So I worked in the bathroom. Money was there. And she looked at me and said, what are you doing here? Well, I thought I'd come to talk to you about this letter you wrote me. And she said, yeah. And about 5 minutes later, I asked her to marry me.
Wowee.
And that was it.
And that was it. And that's 25 years ago, and it still chokes you up. That's really, really stunning.
That was it. Anyway, that was a side story.